Hey guys, it's Kieran. In this video, I'm going to quickly address certain misconceptions about stop losses and take profits, and whether we actually should be using them at all. And of course, a lot of people have questions about this, but the reality is quite interesting. So this is basically a graph looking at data and the performance of really top institutional grade traders, and how the performance pretty much varies using stop losses and take profit. And whether you're an advanced trader or a beginner trader, I think you'll gain a lot of value from this video. So these four curves are pretty much looking at the performance based on whether they use set take profits and set stop losses. So looking at this first bottom red curve, I appreciate that it is a bit difficult to see around here, this red equity curve here. This represents the actual equity of the trading balance. This person, as you can see here, placed a target but no actual stop loss. And so whilst this person allowed for essentially, in theory, unlimited gains because they did not have set take profits, naturally the fact that they had no stop loss meant that their account pretty much deteriorated at the smallest sign of weakness in the market, because naturally they had no invalidation point. And so this kind of strategy in the long run does not work, as you can imagine. The next person, of course, is the yellow one. And this yellow one is quite interesting because this is pretty much what we've been taught from a really conventional point of view in trading. And this graph pretty much applies to swing trading in general. Of course, it has a role in scalping as well, but I appreciate that certain scalping strategies are pretty much just getting in and getting out. But looking at this yellow curve here, this equity curve of the person who's traded, the person, he has ups and downs. He has a set stop loss so that he has an invalidation that's put in advance, but the person has also all the take profit set in advance as well. And this is what we're always conventionally taught, right? To always have a stop loss in and have a take profit in as well. Lock in take profit immediately and just put it in. If you notice, the person above at the purple line here, this is a person who's basically put, as you can see, a stop loss but no actual target. This person seems to have the best equity curve in the sense that he reached overall a higher amount of profit and loss, a higher P&L in a sense. Practically, this is quite difficult to be sustainable because whilst the person has a stop loss, if you're just constantly aiming for unlimited gains, the problem is that by the time the actual target is reached, you would have got stopped out well in advance because you had not locked in any take profits. And so from a practical point of view, this is quite difficult. And so in a sense, the best target, I've come to the conclusion, based on this actual evidence, based on this research, is actually being in this blue-purple curve here, the blue equity curve here. And what has this person done? This is the actual performance. And so this is somebody that, in a sense, puts in a stop loss in advance before the trade, but then perhaps locks in the first one or two take profits, but then maybe leaves 25 to 30% of the trade run for swing trades. And very often, it can be that last 25% that you leave to run that can actually, in a sense, in the long run, lead to actually you growing up in your equity curve. So it could be the difference between actually getting to the next stage of trading. It could be the difference between going from 10k to 100k or 100k or a million. And so this is quite interesting because traditionally we've always been taught just to have a stop loss, take profit for swing trades. And you have to appreciate that whilst you're doing this blue equity curve, you might have the set stop loss placed in advance and you might lock in one or two take profits. And it might be quite frustrating for you that you do not actually have your take profits 3 and 4 set. And you might eventually find that you might get your first two take profits hit, but the last one or two might not have been hit and you might have got stopped out eventually with a small loss, but overall you might have made some gains from the remaining profits. But in the long run, this evidence, and based on some other things I've been looking at, generally speaking, over the long run, the person who, in a sense, whenever they see an opportunity, is able to at least capture the first one or two take profits. But even if the person loses the last two take profits and is not able to capture it, over the long run, the person who does this really sets himself up for greatness in the sense that, okay, he's locked in take profits, but at the same time, allows maybe 20-30% of the trades to run in case that there is a parabolic run-up. And specifically in crypto as well, this will be very beneficial as well. Because very often, what you gain from that last 25% to run, even if maybe only 50% of your trades, you actually capture that last 25 to 30% run, you can essentially make from that one trade sometimes what you would make a whole month of scalping. So this is just an interesting perspective you might find useful. And of course, I'm sure you would gain some value from this. And Now, of course, do check out my YouTube channel. This is where I post YouTube updates about my passion for crypto and trading, and of course, little tips and tricks to really fast track your trading career from certain lessons and mistakes that I've really made. Well, thanks a lot, guys, for watching, and I'll catch you in a bit.